Hello and welcome back to Beers with Buds. I'm your host, Andrew Friedman, the Cannabis Sommelier. I'm joined here by my bud, Chef Elycia Ross. Chef, how are you doing today?
Really good. Super excited to be on your podcast.
Thank you so much for being here. Tell everybody about yourself. Tell everybody about your food truck and your culinary journey so far, and then we'll just dive into it.
All right. I am a food truck owner, a little truck on the Prairie here in Calgary, and we source most of our food locally as much as we can. We do a lot of comfort food, kind of inspired by where we're from, and yeah. Yeah.
Perfect.
Sorry, I'm just a little nervous.
No, it's all good. It's fantastic. You're just saying you've never done anything like this, so I'm happy because you'll never forget your first.
Yeah. Hopefully, if it's bad, I'll be able to forget it. Just kidding. It'll be great.
It's not going to be bad. We've been chatting for a while now. We've had some great chats already. Nothing's changed at all.
No.
Once you get a few minutes into it, you totally forget. So the chef's being very modest. She's absolutely fantastic. She's been nominated as Best Chef in Calgary right now, which is really cool, and also Best Poutine and Best Burger. So she's absolutely killing it. She's up beside some amazing world-renowned chefs, and we were just chatting about how you're kind of the underdog, but we both think you're going to take the win.
Yeah, I think that my story right now kind of fits with what Calgary's looking for, being a woman in the industry that's kind of up and coming, and I'm
badass woman in the industry.
Badass, yeah. Trying to, keep my chin up with the rest of them. It's a challenge for sure, but I think I'm growing into it and becoming a little bit more comfortable with that.
It's really cool to be there with Chef Darren McLean from The Final Table, because that show absolutely blew up, and so he's pretty world renowned right at this moment. He's
no doubt.
The Netflix kid from Canada.
Yeah.
Have you eaten at his restaurant before?
I actually haven't. It's something my business partners and I have been trying to all go together, but we're always so busy that it's been hard to set down a date. Maybe after I win, we'll go in and celebrate.
Yes, he can cook for you. Yeah. Best chef in Calgary. I love that. That would be sweet. You could actually go eat at everybody's restaurant. I think I would do a tour. I would do the rounds. Just be like, hey guys, how's it going?
Yeah.
Bring them a bottle of wine, and then they can cook for you. That'd be super nice.
We'll see. Yeah, super excited. It's really crazy. I think we're probably the first food truck that's been had a chef nominated, so pretty proud of that. We wanted to come into the scene and kind of bring something new, and I think we've proven ourselves with these noms.
That's awesome. I'm so excited that we're doing a dinner together, the first dinner that I'm doing of 2019.
Yeah, me too, I guess, actually.
So cool. It's it's kind of the first big event of 2019, and I guess we really got to go big. I'm going to open some really nice wine for you because you deserve it. We need to celebrate.
We do. I'm super excited. I mean, this will be my first cannabis dinner I've ever done.
Amazing.
Publicly.
Yes.
I mean, I definitely partake from time to time alone, but it's going to be cool to be able to start showing people how they can kind of integrate it into their everyday food if they want to.
Totally. Legalization is so cool. Just to hear you say that, we get to start 2019 with you being nominated as Best Chef in Calgary and doing your first cannabis dinner for the public. That's pretty historic for me. I'm actually getting goosebumps. It really excites me that I get to be here and be alongside all these tastemakers and game changers, because 20 years from now we'll look back at this conversation, and it's gonna be pretty hilarious when we remember this moment. I think
so.
Big things are in the future.
Man.
You're pretty young like me. You just came to Calgary a few years ago from Vancouver Island.
Yeah, it's been a big jump from a small town Qualicum girl to Calgary, and actually being able to make a bit of a ripple in the ocean compared to pond from where I'm from. So it's I don't know. It's a little bit, it's mind-blowing right now. I don't know.
I bet it's surreal. Hey, just take it in, hang out, relax, and
it feels like I don't know, the amount of work that we put in with the food truck. I've at least, earned the time that
totally
needs to go into it.
Tell me about the two recipes that were nominated, the burger and the poutine.
Yeah, the burger was kind of like Lil Truck's first baby, when one of my business partners and we'd actually not really met much before we went into business.
You'll tell me about that after.
Yeah, so we were getting to know each other, and I'd written up a couple of recipes, and one of them was for our Bison Burger. And so I cooked it up for her and her sister, who I'd just met, who's also become a great friend and a fellow cannabis person.
Awesome.
And so we cooked the burger, and we were like, what is this? Like,
what's the secret sauce?
It's got blueberry gastrique on it. Ooh. And pickled jalapenos, brie, arugula, house-made aioli on a locally made brioche bun from the European bakery on 17th. Ooh. And which make like the best brioche. It's so good. And they're awesome. They're just like the best old like European couple.
This does sound like the best burger in Calgary.
Yeah, thank you. It's really good. So we made that, and that was kind of, we'd like trusted that Adam, our other business partner, Tegan's partner also, he believed in us and knew that we would get along and do it. And then we ate the burger together, and we were like, okay, we can do this.
This is our moment. Yeah. The burger of destiny.
Yeah, it is. It's our burger of destiny, definitely. Might have to rename it.
I love it. We can do we'll do a feature one day. I'll come, and we'll do like a crazy little pop up, and you can call it the burger of destiny.
I'm into it.
And I'll pour people champagne beside the truck, and we won't tell anybody. Can we get
fireworks? That sounds incredible.
Hell yeah. I have so many fireworks here. I have hundreds of dollars, and it's just been years. I haven't set any off. So
really? That's both concerning and exciting.
Yeah, maybe I shouldn't leave them in the basement.
That sounds really good. So yeah, we made that, and here it is. One of the best burgers in Calgary.
And what about the poutine? Tell me about the poutine.
The poutine is a braised short rib with Cafe Rosso's coffee. Braise it down for like about 12 hours, and then you make gravy with it. It's kind of like there's like big chunks of short rib in the gravy over our duck fat fried potatoes or fries.
Duck fat always makes fries better.
Right? Yeah. Some people get weird about it.
We can infuse duck fat. That's one of the big infusions that I really like to do.
Well, I'm so into that. Duck fat is like, we deal with Canadian Rocky Mountain meats.
Okay.
And they have been like our duck fat saviors. They always like have a tub for us with our order for free, and we're like,
shout out.
What? Yeah, guys, you are the best.
Thank you for the duck fat.
Yeah, like every time we get, it's like Christmas every time we get that. So they've become like super loyal customers as well, which is awesome when you have your local suppliers that come back to the truck and get to see their product kind of like
totally. And do you make sure that you feature, like, do people know that all these ingredients are there? All these great local businesses are featured?
Yeah, we try and talk about it as much as possible. I actually should probably be a little bit more vocal about it, because I
think you need some visuals.
Yeah.
Just a pull-up banner. These are our amazing food partners.
You're totally right.
I love that.
Like, we did a shout-out to DJ's Market when we were on Global.
Okay.
And ever since then, every time we go in there, they're like, you made us famous. They're like super stoked. So like that's worth it in itself, that like the small business that families had for like years is like, I don't know, it's a fun, like I think that those kind of relationships that we've been building are like the most important above anything else.
Support local business.
Yeah, it's been awesome.
Yeah, anything I can get Canada made, I do. I collect Canada made stuff.
Yeah.
I'll buy anything that's Canada made.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
You should. It's great. I don't know. I mean, it's I definitely, like, we try and stick as close to the, like, Prairie authenticity.
Cool. Yeah, you're the little truck on the prairie.
Yeah, you can't, like, be having, like, Chinese garlic. My business partner, he's, like, very much, like, so sad whenever we go to all these, like, even, I don't know, like, some of the bigger stores that we have to go to source things, and everything's from, like, a different country. He's like, it grows here so well. Like,
Alberta garlic's incredible.
It's so good.
And the huge yield. It's just that you can only pull it one time a year. And then kilograms of garlic from China are $6.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. It's hard to say no to that sometimes. Like,
Oh yeah,
you have to if you want to. I don't know. It's a struggle as a small business. It's a struggle to like stay on that, like, keep your head in the game of, like, being local, because
being
it
legit.
is tempting. Yeah,
Don't sell out.
Right?
That's what it's all about.
It's important. It's something that I think everyone needs to remember is kind of, like, integral for just, I don't know, I think for a lot of reasons, for the environment, for our neighbors to stay, like, prosperous. You have to support them, and it goes a long way. So
no, it's hard. It's hard to buy. Well, I really like quality goods, and the closer it grows to home, usually the more quality is.
Totally, yeah.
I can't wait to start. You've in my house, we get a fence next year, and we're gonna start like a pretty good sized garden.
Awesome, yeah.
Aside from the cannabis garden, we're starting elsewhere. I want
cannabis garden. I like that.
That's what it is. It is a cannabis garden. But we'll have a lot of garlic. That's kind of like the main thing I want to do. There's a big shady side underneath there's a row. It's absolutely nothing but a dog strip, but I don't want to let Zeus go back there. Zeus is my dog. Nobody knows that yet. Well, unless you follow me on Instagram. But I just want to stuff that with garlic.
Yeah.
Because
you should.
Why wouldn't I? And I'd love to do cukes and do all my own pickling, and I'm so excited to get to work with great chefs like you, because I've worked in kitchens. I did foods through school, and but my extent of being a chef is like a prep cook.
Yeah. Which is very important.
It's the most important job, right? Without the prepper, the kitchen falls apart. You couldn't make every amazing meal.
Yeah, it's
from
like building
scratch
a house without a foundation.
No, but I'm so excited to get to do cool stuff. I hope that we were talking about pickling earlier. I hope that we can pickle with some cannabis.
Yeah.
And I'd also like to. I could probably get you some. We could pickle like the thicker stalks. I'm trying to think about how to use the actual plant pickled as an ingredient now.
Oh, cool. I'm sure that's something we could look into. I'm all about stuff like that. Like doing the kind of like, I don't know, we started a garden in where we parked the truck last summer, and you start getting a lot more creative because you're like, okay, I grew this from a seed and now it is my baby and I must utilize everything, otherwise I'll be so sad.
Yeah.
Like, Tegan and I would get super into, like, you have to, like, pet the plants and be like, thank you, carrots, when you're eating them. And so I like the idea of utilizing the whole thing and, like, pickling stalks or something like that.
No waste. I think we could, thinking about it, we could probably put it on the slicer thing. What's that called?
Oh, like a mandolin?
Yes, on the mandolin. Thank you. And we could probably get it, like, really thinly shaved, like like sliced bamboo, kind of, and then pickle it. And I feel like it might be similar to that texture, but maybe just a little bit crunchier.
Yeah.
And then we could, with some flex salt or something. That sounds cool. I don't know.
Sounds delicious.
Yeah.
I can't think of a reason why it'd be bad.
Right? Well, again, we just get to use another part of the plant, because that's the big theme in the kitchen now is, like, no waste kitchens, because it's so wasteful. Food, restaurants are crazy wasteful.
It's really eye-opening when you first get into a kitchen and realize, like, you do try and be thrifty, but a lot of it gets thrown in the garbage.
Well, and there's just a lot of plastic.
Yeah, also that. It's insane. Like, my boyfriend always gets mad at me because when we're grocery shopping for home, I, like, don't put any of our vegetables in plastic bags.
Yeah,
I just,
we never do.
Throw them in the cart.
Throw them in the cart.
Like, there's, like, green beans everywhere. And I'm like, whatever. It's fine.
Yeah. Do you take your own shopping bags to the grocery store, or are you, like, bad for that?
I remember.
Yeah, that's fair. Sarah's really, really good for it.
That's good.
I commend her.
Yeah, I need someone to be a good backup on that, because I forget most of the time. And, like, I don't drive, so I walk everywhere.
Right.
So I'm like, I'm just gonna, like, got my kid, I have a 3-year-old,
I got one bag I'll give you that crumples down to a fist size. I got it as a wine giveaway, and you can throw it in your purse.
Yes, that's perfect. That's great, because I really hate carrying things. Like, it's the most annoying.
And as a mom, you become a pack mule. I always felt bad. I was just this sounds so bad, but I was like, oh, my mom's kind of like my pack mule. Like, if I need her to carry stuff, it's like she's carrying it. And before you think about that, you're just doing it.
Totally. I saw a picture of Beyonce holding a juice box for her kid, and it was like, even like Beyonce like carries shit for her kid. And I was like, it's so true. Like, you can't get away from them, or their stuff. They're so invasive.
Amazing.
They're great. Love him, but yeah.
Love you, Mom. You're fantastic. Shout out to Fitzy. She's awesome. We're telling the story about me dosing her too much. Tell me about how. Oh, I'm gonna pour you some wine. Tell me about how you met your business partners, because you're like, I hadn't really met them when we made the burger.
Well, I knew one of them. So I knew Adam actually through my ex-husband. Shout out to Johnny.
Yeah, shout out to the ex.
Yeah, he's cool, whatever.
Thank you. Next.
Yeah. Oh my god. I wish. Having a kid with them kind of made it never go away, but that's fine. He's actually great. He's a really good dad. Anyways, that got sidetracked. So I met Adam through Johnny, and he just like was the greatest. He's one of those people you meet and you're like, you need to be my friend forever. Just, I don't know if you feel the same way, but like, you're my best friend now. But he's just like so welcoming. So he really like, cheers. Yeah, cheers. Yeah, so he really like kind of made me feel at home in that group of friends. And we really ended up growing to be close. And he started dating Tegan. They met up at work. They worked in a diamond mine. Adam still does, but Tegan also worked there, and they fell in love.
She's a diamond miner?
She did, yeah, like, I won't go into the details of their place in that, but they're very, really hardworking.
Wow, that's a job I've never heard anybody do.
Yeah, it's incredible. And like, yeah, they're the two probably hardest working people I've ever met.
In Canada? Is there diamond mines here?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Are Canadian diamonds worth more than Ugandan diamonds?
Probably. I don't know. Shop local?
Made in Canada, baby!
Yeah.
I love that.
I'd pay more, probably. I don't know. Yeah, so they met. They fell in love. Then one day, Adam calls me up, and he's like, hey, do you want to start a food truck with Tegan and I? And I was like, obviously, duh. Like,
word. Yeah. Sure, sold.
Didn't think twice about it. It just seemed like, of course, that would be something I will do with you. So we all went in. We each own a third of it, and Tegan and I had only met maybe once briefly, and she's like my sister now. It's been crazy. It's been this like really crazy journey. Her and I run the food truck together, just the two of us most of the time. Adam still works away, and he's a heavy-duty mechanic, so he fixes the truck whenever she breaks down, which is
food trucks,
often.
always break.
Yeah, we've been stuck at a few events. One time, all the food trucks around us helped us push the truck so they could leave. Because
they didn't. I was gonna say they've all been there, but they just really wanted to get out of there.
I've been here forever. Please let me go.
That's fine. I just want to say, you do speak about Tegan very nicely. That's awesome. I love that you called her your sister, not your like best friend.
No,
that's super cool.
It's one of those relationships like you really see everyone's all of their sides when you like are operating, owning, and being friends. Plus, like, we lived together for a while, and
that's a lot. I would probably hate you by now.
Yeah, I would too. I was shocked when she was like, "Hey, you want to come for dinner?" After I moved out, I was like, "Oh, you love me still?
You want me here for dinner?"
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, but they're very welcoming. Anyone that knows them, like, their house has a revolving door. It's just friends and family that.
That's awesome.
It's been really amazing to be a part of their
Sound
group.
like great people. I can't wait to meet them.
Yeah, you have to. They'll love you too. I think it'll be a really cool friendship that can come out of all this.
I'm excited. I'm super excited.
Yeah.
Super, super excited. Well, let me tell you about the wine we're drinking.
Yeah, this is amazing.
So it's from Moraine Estates, 2016 Gewürztraminer, Okanagan Valley, Penticton. And I got to make it, which was really cool. I was the cellar hand apprentice winemaker for the 2016 vintage.
That's amazing.
And yeah, the grapes grew on the winery site, and I lived on the winery site. So these grapes grew a few hundred yards from where. Well, the house was built in like 1890 and didn't have any central heating, and I lived with two Mexican guys.
Yeah.
So that house doesn't exist anymore. That was pretty dicey. But it was sure beautiful when I looked out the window.
Yeah, no doubt. At least it was summer, I guess.
No, I showed up in. I think I showed up August 21st.
Oh, so you're like.
It was
saying goodbye to summer.
Yeah, and literally did. So I got there, and I remember watching this one leaf fall off the top of the tree, and I was like, oh my god, no. And the day I left, it was like the day before all the last leaf had just fallen off this maple tree. It was super symbolic. It was pretty cool, but it was super cold, and it was snowing by that point, and it was like such a rainy vintage. So yeah, that's one of the things about this wine. It's a Gewürztraminer. Gewürztraminer.
Wow.
But it was a struggle of vintage. It rained like the whole time I was there, which was sucky. Like the winemaker, she had done like 25 vintages. She was amazing, Jack. And she was awesome. I'm forgetting her last name right now, so I don't want to shout it out.
That's okay.
But yeah, it rained the whole time. She was like, yeah, this is like one of the worst vintages I've ever worked in my entire life.
Really?
And I was like, oh, I'm glad it's my first one.
Yeah.
And it's all I want to do again so bad, but
Yeah.
it takes up so much time, and you have to work so hard, and there's just like not much. I want to work hard. There's just not much opportunity for it anymore.
Yeah. Well, maybe one day it can be your retirement plan. You'll just like own a winery and.
Well, what I'd like to do is grow wine and grow cannabis as the cover crop. I'd like to have them both intermingling in the vineyard
That makes sense.
on the farm, right? And I'd love to see how THC infused wine is like a thing. Some people make it and they infuse it.
Yeah.
But if I have cannabis plants brushing on grapes, then there'll obviously be the transfer of those glandular heads, and to me that's what the most cannabis wine could ever be, and probably the most beautiful expression of
just like really like organic, authentic mixing. I really like that. That's cool.
Yeah, so there's you can do a field blend of wine, which is where you grow vines side by side and they basically grow together, but they're two different species. And then you can blend and you can co-ferment and yada yada yada, do all these different ways of mixing the wine, but nothing is better than a field blend. They always just complement each other in these beautiful ways. So yeah, I've always imagined doing that, and I'd love to do that, but I don't know if alcohol will, well, unless it's from my personal garden, I think that's the only way that'll ever be able to be allowed.
Well, you should test it out. Try it out if you can on your own, see if it works. And then
it's getting grapevines. I can grow cannabis, no problem. Grapevines are the hard part.
Yeah.
But yeah, the wine's quite good. I think this was the right moment to drink it. 2016, like it's nice. It's 2019 now.
I like it.
Lychee,
I mean, I don't know a
and
ton
pineapple
about wine,
and white rose.
Very nice.
Yeah.
It's like easy to sip on, which is what I like.
Yeah,
Just
me too.
Like an easy.
A lot of people are like, I don't really like white wine, and I'm like, it's because you're drinking your mom's whitetail Chardonnay. Like.
Yeah, definitely a different experience. I've always been like a Riesling kind of gal.
I should open some Riesling for you. But the Riesling that I made
nice,
this 2016 vintage won a gold medal for the Canadian Wine Awards.
Whoa!
That year, yes. So
good for you.
Very
That's
high
awesome.
honor. So that was pretty cool.
That is cool. That's like, I don't know. I'm always impressed when you're like, and then I've done this, and I'm like, what? How does one get so much, I don't know, experience in such a short amount of time? It's awesome.
Just get fired from a whole bunch of jobs. That's basically it.
Fair enough.
That's so funny. A bunch of people say that. I was in a cab with these great people on the weekend when I was in Vancouver at Lyft, and we were just talking and having a conversation, and this woman was like, "Are you like 150 years old? Like, how have you done all of these things?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Well, that's really nice, but no, I'm not that old."
Yeah, unless you're a vampire.
I am.
This is like a weird, what is this, Twilight 5 or something?
Exactly. I think I told that same woman that I was an alien that night. So
don't get me started. Don't get me started on aliens.
Why?
This isn't an alien podcast.
It's beers with buds. We're just drinking and smoking and hanging out. What's up with aliens?
No,
what do you think?
I don't know.
Tell me.
I could totally see you being an alien. I think I don't know.
Because I'm tall and white?
Yes. No, just like you're like really, I feel like you're someone that never sleeps, but not because like.
Sleep all the time.
Do you? Okay.
Way too much today.
That's why you seem so awake now, because you're so well rested.
Yeah, I went to bed at midnight, got up at 9
Nice.
o'clock.
That's a good night.
I get 9 hours at minimum every single night.
Really?
Yeah.
That's my goal. I'm one of those people though, I either sleep none or I sleep for like
too long.
15 hours, and I'm like, oh shit.
I haven't done the 15-hour thing in a long time. I used to do that. I would stay up all night writing music, and then I would just sleep all day until like the same time that I woke up the day before and just start writing music all through the night.
Totally.
I felt so... Yeah, I even still, it's funny, like, you say you think I don't sleep. I feel unproductive because I sleep. I'm like, oh, what are you doing, Andy? You know, you're working for yourself now.
Totally.
Get up. And then I'm like, but you're going to be tired.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's like, I have my 3-year-old half the time. And so the days I have him, of course, like, I really do have to try and stick to, like,
it's a lot
the
of
best
effort.
Schedule. But because I have such a weird sleeping habit, I'm just like always like just holding my eyes open with toothpicks. Like, oh my god, he's actually great because he'll just slap me in the face every once in a while if I fall asleep. So
thank you, Barnaby.
Yeah.
Whack.
Oh my god, he threw a slipper at my face one time, and like, I'm making him sound like a monster. He's a great kid.
Every kid's a monster. Don't
That's
worry.
True.
They
They're
all sound like
terrible.
monsters as soon as you start talking about them. You're like, I love them, but they're such little shits.
Yeah, he's like, he doesn't like any of the food I make him, and like,
oh, that's hard, especially as a chef.
And I'm like making him, and not even crazy things. I'm like, here, I made you homemade macaroni and cheese, and he's like, fuck you, give me Kraft Dinner. Like, this is lame.
What?
He's not that.
Shouldn't have even let him have a taste.
I know.
Katie's like heroin.
It is.
Until you get...
It's so good. I'm not even gonna lie, I love it too.
Until I got into wine, I've had like the most white trash diet. Like it was like, you know, like I can't even defend it. I would drink Sunny D and eat Cool Whip for breakfast.
That's
McDonald's
awful.
for lunch, Katie for dinner. Like I was like, thank God Sarah came around because I was on a path of destruction, and now I eat so good and I love it. And,
that's good.
But when I got into wine, I started thinking about flavors and all these things that I was like didn't want to try because of
like,
whatever.
Cool Whip and Sunny D don't really match up with this.
I honestly, I can't stand the taste of Cool Whip because I know I can make whipped cream in like
Cool Whip
30
is
seconds.
depressing.
We got this thing that you can have. Do you have one of those?
No.
Oh, that's great.
I do insist on whipping cream by hand because my business partner is always like, Tegan's like, hey, can you just use the machine? And I don't know why.
Because it's authenticity.
No, but it's not even. It's just I'm stubborn or something. It's like, because if you whip the cream with the mixer or whatever, it doesn't taste any worse. It's just something about it. I'm like, ugh, I hate it.
I hate it. Yeah, so you love Cool Whip then. You remember exactly what that oily substance tastes like.
Oh god, that's the thing. It's not even like the Cool Whip is fine. It's the texture in your mouth that afterwards that you're
coating.
like, is that made of wax?
Yeah,
Like,
that's it's weird.
it is weird. It's uncomfortable.
I would 100% agree. And Sunny D always has burned.
It does.
It hurts
so
to drink.
Yeah.
There's like so much sugar because it's so acidic.
Yeah.
And now I understand like flavors and the balance of flavors.
Yeah.
And like just thinking about Sunny D, oh my god, there must be so much sugar in it.
Yeah.
And the acid is terribly high. Like I remember it would make your teeth zing.
Yeah, like you're like, what? I have a hole in my tooth now. I had one glass of Sunny D.
Jesus.
It was one of those things only my grandparents would buy for me.
And you think you were a bad mom. I was just saying how much I love my mom.
Yeah.
Sunny D.
Oh man, I don't know if Barnaby's had Sunny D yet.
Don't give him a taste.
No, it'll like put a hole in his stomach.
Don't, honestly, if you can avoid giving actually, soda's such a hard thing. I was really addicted to pop. I like to talk about this a lot because I think it's absolute bullshit how people can get away with advertising soda in every facet. They sell it to kids. It's like the number one drink absolutely everywhere. It's the only fucking thing you can get, and it destroys you. Like cigarettes weren't anything compared to pop. Quitting cigarettes is a joke compared to quitting pop.
Really?
Oh yeah, cigarettes is like, I'm done. And I might think about having a cigarette every once in a while, but I don't actually have one.
Yeah.
When I get a craving for like a soda, it's like extreme until the point where it's like, at some point,
I just need to crack one open and chug it.
Well, yeah, and the thing is I'm gonna get a soda because no matter where I go, somebody's gonna fucking offer it to me.
Yeah.
Like it's no problem.
Yeah.
And it's like it's so
That's true.
destructive.
I really like it. In fact, we're launching a soda company.
Well, good.
But it's not the same. It's actually going to be really lightly sweetened. Well, not lightly, but like nicely sweetened.
Well, if it's authentic sugars, right? That's kind of the difference. If it's not crazy acidic paint thinner and it's not a whole bunch of cheap artificial sugars.
Yeah. We actually have an abundance of cane sugar because Adam was experimenting with some brewing and stuff, and so we have all this, like really great organic cane sugar that we're gonna throw into it.
Let's do an infused craft soda.
Yeah, I'm down.
That's what the market wants right now. It's gonna be huge.
Really? Okay.
Well, it's gonna be legal.
Yeah.
They say cannabis beverages are gonna be the biggest market, and I have a lot of big ideas. So I'd love to show you.
Yeah, we'll chat about that. We're actually like,
because I love soda. If you didn't hear.
Yeah, that conversation went from like, soda's the worst to like, let's make
okay.
one.
Well, I'd like to. I kind of want to spin this though, right? Because everything in moderation is kind of okay, especially if you have craft ingredients. Like when you care about the ingredients, and it's not like Coca-Cola is the most destructive company in the world. It's so disgusting what they do to cultures. And I loved cold Coke. That's what got me to quit smoking cigarettes, because it gave me the same burn and the same rush, basically. Like it hurt.
So good.
It hurt so good. Like everybody knows that feeling of drinking a cold can of Coke, and you're like,
and like two. Totally. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's super relatable. Very much so. In fact, I think I remember the last time I did that.
Right?
Yesterday.
Sarah bought ginger ale.
Oh, yeah.
And a case of it, and I was like, oh, why did you do this to me?
Yeah.
Because I love ginger ale.
It's so good.
And I just traveled, and usually my guilty pleasure when I travel is like, I'll get on the plane and I'll have a few Cokes and a ginger ale.
Yes.
And then I'm like, I feel so guilty about myself now, because I've been trying to honestly really, really quit soda pop.
Yeah.
And I didn't drink any when I was on my trip this weekend. And I got back, and Sarah's like, yeah, I got some ginger ale. It's in the car. I'm like, oh, why'd you do that to me?
Yeah, you're like, this is why I love you and hate you.
Yeah, exactly. You're the best and the worst.
Yeah. Oh, man.
I'm so excited to marry her. It's going to be great.
Yeah, you guys are the best. Getting to know you has been awesome. Like, I don't know, it was like, I felt like a little kid again last time. I was like, I just made friends.
Oh, I love that.
This is so fun.
We were the same way. It's hard honestly, making adult friends is a really hard thing to do.
There should be, like, daycare for adults, like that's not a bar, so you're not like meeting people while you're making a fool of yourself already.
But what would you want to do where you met people without alcohol?
I have no idea.
Smoke weed? Yeah. I'm cool with that too. Cannabis consumption lounges need to be a place.
True.
But a very high end one. If I could go to a high end cannabis lounge and I knew that the people there had a similar interest, just like in a bar.
Totally.
And it brought the right demographic, I would love to. Yeah. I would love to be there, especially for different nights. Whatever. A DJ is a totally different atmosphere, or a rap show, or a comedy show, or even playing video games or board games is a totally different place. Or even just socializing.
I've become so much more friendly since I started smoking weed.
Yeah, like, you were terrible before it. No, I'm just kidding.
I was. Honestly, I feel like my whole life people have been like, what's that girl's problem? And like, it's mostly because I just like am quiet until I'm comfortable. So people are always like, you just look like you're this like bitch standing
Well, I'd love to talk about that, because a lot of people, I chat with a lot of people and they're like, oh, well, cannabis makes me introspective and I can't do it in the right place. But in turn, you're saying like, cannabis helped you be comfortable around people where you could be yourself.
Totally. Like my anxiety, everything has been helped immensely from cannabis. Like when I was younger, I'll definitely admit like I couldn't handle it because of my anxiety, but now as an adult that I kind of understand it more and can I have like the tools to deal with it now, as they say. Smoking weed has actually been able to, it just makes me, I feel like...
It's another tool in the kit?
That's actually what I said to my mom. Because she was like, if weed is helping you so much, cannabis is helping you so much, why do you still take your meds? And I said, because, like, you don't fix a car with one tool. Like... Yeah,
because it helps.
It does. It helps. It's not like, I mean, I've tried off my meds, and that definitely doesn't work either. So, why not all of it?
There's a lot of... It blows my mind when people talk about mental health like it's such a generalized, easy thing. Like, nobody would ever tell an MS patient to stop taking medication. medication.
Yeah.
Right? And so it's yeah.
It's a funny. It's definitely.
Anyways, let's pair some wine. Let's do that. Let's do that.
Before we get real into
Get
it.
real deep, yeah. So what I think would pair great with that, I have a few different flower rosins here.
Okay.
And so the whole trick is you grab your wine close, smell the wine, do it like a normal wine tasting.
Smelling it.
And you've had it.
Yeah.
And then maybe take this Solid Diesel flower rosin from Winter Solventless Extracts, and just put your nose really close and kind of confuse your senses.
All right.
And then
this is actually so cool. Like I don't know. I didn't really know what it would be like until like when you showed me this last time, and my mind has not been able to stop thinking about it. Just like such an interesting pairing, and also it really starts to, like my mind going about food. It's just like really interesting. Yeah.
The next piece of the dining experience.
Totally. I think so. Like I just like all I think about is like citrus, rosemary. Chef Pierre and I are doing a dinner in February, and we're going to be dealing with like some spruce and pine in one of the courses as well as the dessert. And it just like all of this really seems like super connected, and cannabis
Totally
is like a clear
It's the next point.
Yeah, puzzle piece for it, for sure.
Why wouldn't we have as an aperitif? It's like literally eating steroids. Not like eating steroids, but it's like steroids for eating.
I was like, we might need to go a little bit more in depth on that comparison.
Let me clarify this one. You smell this one too. This is mimosa, and look how different that one looks.
Oh, yeah.
And that's flower rosin as well. Same, just pressed under heat and pressure.
What causes so this one's like definitely more like opaque compared to the other.
So I'll one looked like a jam almost. It had like sugar crystals.
And this looks like butter almost.
Yeah. It's strain indicative because nothing happened to these. These literally were pressed out within 2 or 3 degrees of each other.
Crazy.
Fahrenheit, and just put under pressure. And yeah, they excreted like this. And as they oxidized, one decided to coagulate with THCA crystals in it and keep the terpenes very viscous. And this one, even though this one almost the mimosa almost smells more fragrant, the bouquet is larger. It's like a solid, hard chunk of like almost white, orangey butter. Yeah. It's so cool how different all cannabis is, because it's just such a indicative thing. I remember my first day of wine class. I sat down, and this woman was like, what other agricultural product has over 1,500 indicative strains and can taste completely different from everywhere in the world depending on who grew it? Mm-hmm. I put up my hand and I was like, cannabis.
Yeah. And
everybody laughed.
Yeah.
And here we are.
Yeah, so for real. It's
3 years later, I'm pitching it hard.
Yeah, well, I think like it's great to see someone that just like you seem to have a clear mind for this kind of business. Like you're definitely like innovative and always thinking about the next thing. And I think that I'm hoping that I have a similar quality, and that's what's going to push us as young people in our industries.
Yeah, it's totally. I'm excited to be working with you because I think we have a lot of similar entrepreneurial goals and would like to see some really cool things happen. Mm-hmm. And just the commonality of just wanting to normalize cannabis consumption to show that it's not such a big thing really excites me. What kind of goals do you see for 2019? Like past the truck, is there anything we kind of talked about? You were thinking about a show.
Yeah, I'd like to get a show going, kind of a cannabis for your everyday, maybe a little bit more elevated dining, just because I can't help myself. I mean, I definitely want to be making things that are new and interesting and not necessarily complicated, but fun flavor profiles, where cannabis can get it integrated into that through oils and butters and all that jazz.
Like Julia Child's a cannabis kind of deal?
Yes, that I think my awkward kind of quirkiness and hopefully relatability would play into that a little bit. And I think that the people I want to work with, the End is Beautiful Productions, we're kind of talking about filming it for me
That's
and
exciting.
helping me write it, because Lincoln is super, like, he was just one of the Story Hive winners for his short film. So he's a super talented guy and super talented writer, filmer. I don't think I'm exactly using the right terminology for what he's doing. But anyways, obviously I don't know enough about that to talk about it.
I don't think it really matters. You're talking about him really nicely. It doesn't matter. I think is he a videographer, cinematographer, or is he a producer?
Producer. There we go. He's a producer, and but he does like do all the filming himself too. He's kind of a one-man show as well. Well, his wife Krista works with him too, and they're both like this like super amazing dream team of artistic abilities and hard work.
That's exciting though. You already have like a team for the show. You're in it.
Yeah, I'm super pumped.
What do you need to start doing it?
Well, just the time really. Like Lincoln still works away a little bit, and Krista has a full-time job, and I'm trying to fill these boots of being a great Calgary chef. So we're trying to get a time together where we can go out. We've got a space that we might be filming in Bragg Creek at this beautiful home. So we just have to kind of get it together. That's bottom line. Get it together. Pick
a date and go.
Yeah, exactly.
Full send, no breaks. I get it. It seems to be that's the entrepreneurial barrier to entry.
Yeah.
Pick something.
Yeah.
Do it.
Totally. And it served me well in the past, so I don't know what's we've got to get it together, get going on it, and I think that after we do our cannabis dinner together, I'll feel maybe a little more like, hey,
stoked.
Do it. Let's set a date and get the filming going, because I think it's going to be a really fun something that I know some people are doing it already, but I think that I can bring something new to the table.
Well, we're going to do it better.
Yeah, there we go. We're going to do it better.
Well,
I think so.
I saw somebody is throwing a dinner kind of around when we are. Mm-hmm. Well, the Nomad Cook, I don't know if you've seen him. Somebody else is bringing him, but without wine pairings and his like infusions where he's just using distillate and coconut oil. Like I've talked about how pretty underimpressed I was with his culinary skills. And that dinner's $17.50 a ticket more than ours.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, no wine pairings. No service.
It's that's the thing. I struggle between accessibility to everyone and also like knowing my worth and what I can charge for my food. Like I definitely like I like with the food truck that everyone can have it. Like we make really great food, really high-end quality ingredients, and a lot of thought that goes into my recipes and menus. And we charge a very decent price for it, and I think that that's something that I would be sad to let go of, but also it's nice that I can have the opportunity with these dinners where you can charge more, you can be a little bit more elevated, like the plating is definitely way different.
Oh, yeah.
and have that kind of experience, because it's just like a good little reminder that I can charge what we charge for a ticket.
Yeah, next one maybe we'll even do $200.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, no, when I see this too, this guy's touring all over.
Yeah.
He's been doing it pretty consistently, and I think he did a pretty subpar job of it. And he's setting it $20 higher. So with wine and with service, because when I went to one of his dinners, and there was nobody to serve, and there was no water on the table, like like the basic things I would expect.
Yeah.
But like even beyond that, you understand me. I'm very focused on like very European style service, very elegant, very fine dining.
It's nice though, because like I definitely don't want to be leaning on the fact that there's cannabis in the dinner, because I think that's something that'd be easy to do, to say like, okay, this is, people want this, here we've given them a product, and then that's that.
Totally.
I think that we're definitely like raising the bar a little bit, and I hope that I don't know, I'm pumped about the menu. I think it's gonna be so good.
The lollipops look crazy.
Yeah, I'm pumped. Like I don't know, I think that like the kind of Eastern European Prairie influence obviously lends itself to where we are and what I'm trying to do, and it's kind of fun that that's kind of gonna be my thing now going forward, is these like hearty food that's been elevated, that's a little bit rustic but still refined at the same time. I'm hoping at least that's what I'm giving with my food.
Yeah, that's cool. I think there's a lot of Michelin star chefs and restaurants that are based around that exact same concept, right? Like that's a very relatable fine dining concept. Eastern European, local
Totally.
ingredients, show yourself,
Yeah.
stay rustic, and you know, kind of explore what the land really has to offer.
Totally. I think that I definitely struggle sometimes because, like, I don't make foams and I don't have, I don't know.
Make foams.
Yeah, like, I don't, but it's one of those things that it's been like this.
Do you really feel bad? 'Cause you
Yeah.
don't make foams?
Yeah, I do. I have this, like, internal struggle of, like, am I not pushing myself enough because I don't do these, like, molecular gastronomy techniques? Like,
Should we do a molecular infusion of cannabis and make a creme fraiche frickin' what did you call it? Foam? Yeah, like
I don't know. Well, see, here's the other side of it, though, is, like, I also kind of love that I don't.
Yeah.
Like, I'm in this weird, like, I'm like, do people look at me and say, like, oh, she, like, whatever, she braised meat, lame, boring, like, she charred carrots, but, like, I think that...
simple food delicious is the hardest thing to do.
Thank you. Okay. See, that's the kind of thing I need to hear, I guess. I do love, like, I don't peel my vegetables. Like, I really like to keep the integrity in things. Like, you see a lot of chefs that, and I admire it, that they, like, intricately take care of every vegetable, like, they're giving it new life, and I feel like I tend to kind of instead lean more heavily on just that the vegetable is perfect the way it is, and there's pros and cons to both, I guess.
No, and it's just your relationship with food, right? And that's
Yeah.
what makes a great chef, is how they can express their relationship with food and what's important to them. Like,
Yeah, that's a really good way to put it. I think I need to be a little bit more lenient on myself, but also, like, feel more confident in what I believe and why I believe it, I guess.
totally. Well, you clearly have believed in yourself, and some other people have.
Yeah.
So
Seriously, props to all of them.
you're doing the right things so far.
Thanks.
I think you're crushing it. It's just yeah.
Oh, man.
Well, I'll make sure people keep yelling at you from the rooftops.
Thank you. Well, you've, like, honestly, some of the people I've been privileged enough to meet in the last couple of years have been, like, life-changing for me. Like, between you, like, Chef Pierre.
I haven't done anything
You
yet.
have, though. Like, you're, like, one of those people that the moment you meet you, you know you're, like, a really positive, inspiring person. Like, you're not... But you're all, like, you have a lot of information and you're super knowledgeable and are good at giving people that knowledge without being pretentious. That's, like, a superpower. Like, you can't...
Thanks.
Like, most people that, like, know as much as you know about your industry are like, look at me and I'm so smart and blah, blah, blah. And you're just, like, super down to earth. Like, you just want to show people the information. You're not, like, trying to... I don't know. It's nice. It's just nice to be around people that are down to earth and talented.
I really appreciate that, because I hate the pretentiousness of wine, and I hate that I'm like a wine guy.
Yeah.
And people kind of expect me to be, like, snooty. Sarah's always like, you're being too pretentious. And I'm like, yeah, well, you know what? I want 3 glasses of wine in front of me tonight. That's not even bad. No, that was a really nice compliment. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
That's,
oh my god, no worries.
Pierre's great.
Yeah.
I'm excited. He introduced us.
Yeah, Pierre's, like,
great guy.
he's the best.
What a great guy.
He made me, okay, I know he's gonna, like, laugh at how much I love this, and I think he was kind of, like, looking at me like I was crazy yesterday, but he made me granola with apples in it and milk for breakfast.
Delicious.
And, by the way, we're just friends. He wasn't making me breakfast because I was, like...
Yeah, I know.
Mom came over for work.
I saw him last week. He had a hot date.
Yeah, he's always, like, yeah.
He's handsome,
He's
and he's
a
a great
guy.
chef. When he made me lunch, oh my god.
Yeah.
It's like, this is nothing I'd ever served, like, on a menu. And I was like, this is fucking amazing.
Yeah, he's super talented. But yeah, he made me breakfast, and it was, like, the best it was so basic, but it was so fucking good. And I was like, I never would have put apples in milk.
Simple food, delicious.
Yeah, but it's so good. And I woke up being like, where is my apples and granola?
Yeah, what am I doing with my life?
Yeah, what the hell?
Needs me a man that knows flavors.
Yeah. Sorry to my actual boyfriend. I'm sure he would cut up apples in my granola too.
He just doesn't do it the same as Chef Pierre.
Yeah, it's not the same as Chef Pierre. God.
Chef Pierre just has a little dash of cinnamon hiding behind his ear. You know?
Oh my god, totally.
Yeah. Oh, I gotcha.
Oh my god, that's so funny. I gotta cough 1 sec. Is that like bad podcast etiquette?
No, you're good. You're good. It's a long conversation. I don't know. I don't really like. I listen to a lot of podcasts and I hear a lot of. There's a lot more bad ones than there are good ones.
Yeah.
People are like, yeah, I can put an iPhone down on a table in a coffee shop and have a conversation, and then I'll crank the audio and put it on a podcast.
Yeah.
And that was one of my barriers to entry to getting into this was I was very conscious that I needed to make studio mics and make it comfortable so that you could cough and it's not an awkward thing. Yeah. I don't know. I don't actually like really listen to podcasts.
No, I don't really. I mean, I do sometimes. I mostly like for road trips with the old Little Truck on the Prairie crew. We'll put on a podcast or two.
Who do you listen to? Do you remember?
The History of New Music is always a good one. But then we got into this like this podcast that was super long. Like it had episodes as they do, but it was like 18-hour long episodes, and we had enough driving time that we could like listen to all of them. So we're like, okay, let's start it. It's this true crime, which I'm obsessed with. So I was like, fuck yeah, let's do it. But we didn't know this at the time. They never actually solved the case.
Oh, so you listened to 18 hours of a cold case? Wow.
And I thought Adam was going to throw himself out the truck. He was just like, what? And like, we ended up turning it off after a while. But like, it was kind of, I don't know, like I definitely like want to know what happens. And it was definitely interesting, but it was so long and we got so invested in it, and then it was just for nothing.
That would have left a really bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah, I was so upset. And then like there was a second one by the same guy, and we went to Montana to two of our friends, Vicky and Joe, help us with the food truck, bless their souls, throughout the summer. And you
murdered them? You no. I'm just kidding.
I mean,
this is the cold case you're telling us about.
I'm like, so this is a podcast about me being a murderer. No, plot twist.
I'm gonna spit out my wine.
So we took them to Montana as a thank you, and we're like, let's just like Joe's favorite place is the Mermaid Lounge in oh my god, I can't even remember what the town's called, but it is a tiny little town that is not nice. Like, it looks sketchy, and it's like on the river, and you're like, murders probably happen here all the time. Like, this place is terrible. I was really sick, and I thought that cold medicine and Jaeger would fix it, but
it usually does.
It didn't. It just made sure that I fell off my bike and like was in bed by 8 p.m. Anyways,
were you drinking cough medicine like Jaeger?
No, I was drinking.
Oh, okay.
Well, not on purpose. I mean, after like enough Jaeger, you're like, I don't know.
I'll just drink it out of the bottle. I feel like shit.
Totally. Yeah. So I was like, I think we arrived in Montana, or like our destination, at like 6 or something, and I was in bed by 8:30. And I don't remember going to bed. Anyways, what I was getting at with that story was, we tried to listen to another podcast by that same guy, and I think Adam had PTSD when we turned it on by his voice and was like, turn it off! Like, we can't.
I'm done. I'm not going to waste my time again. So is that the length of your podcast you've listened to? Pretty much.
I mean, I've downloaded a few on my phone and dabble from time to time, but...
Do you ever listen to Gary Vaynerchuk?
Nope.
He's I always pitch him all the time because I say he's #the best mentor I never had. He's incredible. Wow. Yeah, I love his hustle, love his tenacity. I'm gonna get you his book as a present for this dinner that we did.
Sweet. Okay.
Yeah, so I'll order one of those on Amazon.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I got it for everybody I knew for Christmas this year. But
That's awesome.
He does a podcast. It's kind of badly produced, but his whole thing is like, just put it out because it doesn't matter, because he has a lot of great things to say.
Right.
Yeah. So if you're wasting some time,
cool.
Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary VEE on Instagram.
Nice. I'll follow him. I'll listen to his podcast.
He'll get you fucking stoked. Honestly, like, yeah, I love his. He's all about the long game. He's all about the hustle.
Yeah.
He's all about the idea. Go all in.
I like it.
You can lose if you want to.
Yeah.
Just love the work.
That's really, I don't know. I think that's a good way to live. I think that when you look at anyone that's successful, like, all of them had to take a risk at one point.
And work hard.
Yeah, and work hard.
If you want to be something or build something, it takes hard work. It takes hustle. It takes, like, you got to work on the side, and you got to
you do
figure it out. Like, it's it amazes me. I was talking to Sarah about this last night. It's like you could build a career, or you could, like, build a business.
Yeah.
And I just everything up to this point was amalgamating so that I could build a business, because I couldn't ever work for somebody for 10 years.
Yeah. No doubt. I mean,
but we need people that want to work.
We do. And I think it's what makes the world go round. Everyone's different. But I think, I don't know, I mean, I'm definitely the closest to, like, quote unquote success in my eyes, but I'm also, like...
What's success for you? Can I ask that? Can I just cut you off there?
Yeah, of course. Please. I think, to me, success is being proud of what I'm putting out to the world, whether it's a group of friends, a community like Calgary, or beyond that.
So you're straight up successful right now?
Yeah, I think...
Fuck yeah, cheers to that.
Thank you. I feel really good. I feel like I don't know, I'm really hard on myself, and I honestly don't think I'll ever be satisfied, and I think that's part of what helps me, is that every time I accomplish something or I take another step, I'm, like, looking at the next 10 steps, and it's for the first time I feel like I'm getting some recognition for that, which is really cool, and, like, I really like recognition too. Like,
who doesn't like recognition?
Right? It's the best. Like, I think that's why everyone has this, like, put fame up on this pedestal, which, like, I don't necessarily know if I want, like, fame, but I definitely want recognition, and I definitely want, I don't know, I've this is going way deep or back or something, but when I was a kid, like, I've always been really afraid of dying, and...
Fair enough.
Yeah, I've just, like, it's been this, like, fear that's, like, deep in my heart that, like, I wake up every morning with this, like, sense of, like, oh God, one day I'm going to die. Like,
yeah, that's what drives you.
Yeah, and that drives me, but also the, like, when I was young, I tried to figure out how I could, like, defeat death, and I decided that being remembered was the only way to do that, and then I thought, how can I be remembered? And then I figured if I worked hard enough at whatever I wanted to work at, like, I could do something memorable, and luckily I fell in love with cooking, and hopefully that's where this is taking me. So,
yes.
Yeah.
There's a tattoo I really want. It's an Aristotle quote. I have an Aristotle quote already. Mm-hmm. I never said I said I'd get no more writing after this.
Yeah.
Memento mori. It's like, remember death. Death will come. Mm-hmm. Like, just very simple. There's one thing that's promised. I think that's a very good fear, as long as you can harness. Fear's the most powerful energy. It is. It's a very strong emotion, and when you can learn to harness it, it can really take you to amazing places. Yeah,
I think, honestly, like, as you put it, learning to harness it was what always kept me kind of, like, focused on things other than whatever, like, mental health crisis I was having, where it was like, I've just always been a really anxious person, and it definitely, like, has spiraled at times where, like, as a child, I was equally fascinated and, like, devastated by the fact that I truly believed in aliens and that they were probably going to land at any time and, like, destroy my whole life.
They're already here.
Yeah, which is, like,
you're sitting with one.
I've come around to this now where I'm like, they're just our ancestors, so, like, they don't mean us any harm, which is how I can, like, kind of
I appreciate that.
hold that fear at bay.
That's good. That's like an LSD realization. You're like, yeah, aliens might be real, but they're part of us.
Yeah, I'm like, they're just...
Aren't we aliens? How can we... So, okay, so I gotta ask you, what's your theory on this? Like, are we just in the hood of the universe where nothing's happening? Or are people fucking the most special thing that's ever happened in science, and this magic leap took place from an amoeba, and now we're sitting here? Or
I think it's honestly somewhere in between, where okay, so
we're just dumb.
I don't even think that we're dumb. I think that we're just at a low state of okay, are we doing this right? Okay, so what I think is that this is like one of many dimensions, and we are at kind of one of the first stages in several stages of our lives.
Okay.
And that Earth is kind of like maybe one of the starting off points where we have a lot of growth, and so when you get into kind of like reincarnation.
Yeah, so the metaphysics, you're saying like this is our first world, and then we pass into the next dimension that might be a more evolved world, like we've earned our opportunity to see the future.
Exactly. And so reincarnation is when a soul hasn't learned the lessons it was supposed to learn on Earth. Learned? Oh my god, I'm not passing.
No, it's good.
That they learn on Earth. They have to go back and live another life, whether that's like going back in time and you're living the same life again, and deja vu is just you're in a point in your life where you can make another decision that might propel you into another dimension.
Crazy.
So anyways, I had this like whole idea.
That's a cool way to think about it. That's a take I've never heard on it. I actually really like it. I
had an idea for a book that was kind of a love story between dimensions, but you don't know that until the end of it, where they're like, he dies or whatever, but you don't know he died, and then they're like this parallel love story where you find out at the end she dies and then he's on this other planet.
Amazing. There's one of my mentors when I was young, and this has always really stuck with me, was she always talked about the metaphysics of cannabis, and she was a medium, and she would like, oh yeah, it freaks me out. You talk like there's certain people. So basically, she explained it like the spirit world lives in parallel with the actual world because these spirits are trapped because they have unfinished business. Yeah. And they're living in the exact same world, but once they finish, then they get to move on to the next dimension, whatever it may be.
Cool.
And I truly believe that there are people that can make that connection between the physical world and the metaphysical world. And it's
It makes sense. Like, I think that it's super complex. Like, obviously, I mean, of course, it would be incredibly complex, but I think that to think that not only that we're the only people in the universe, but to think that it's just done after this. Like, how could this be random?
Did you hear they found another radio signal emitted from space?
No.
Yeah, there's this. You remember there was that special one like 20 years ago, and it's funny timing because they made a movie about it. Anyways, the Canadian Space Communications, whatever, they got another radio signal, a constant radio signal.
Really?
Yeah, you got excited. Oh, you're like, oh my god! But the last one was just like a quasar or something that imploded and it sent out this radio frequency, and by the time they actually traced it, it had been gone for like a billion years.
Oh my god, that's so like it's just so fascinating. I can't even stare up at space for too long without getting like the heebie-jeebies. I'm like, oh god, like I can't. I'll like look for the Little Dipper, and then I'm like, I can't look anymore.
Wow.
It really freaks me out, but I'm also like, I love it. Like, it's crazy. I think that it also is something that, I don't know, I think it brings everyone together. I think, unfortunately, like, religion has kind of overshadowed, I think, a lot of the intelligence that humanity could be bringing to the plate.
I think that was a plan.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I think that it's the plan, and it was the plan from the start. It's crazy that people can't see that.
Everything destructive has been over religion. It's amazing. When I read about wine and I learn wine, I learned so much more about religion and how crazy the the churches were.
Yeah.
Like, the Renaissance is a nutty moment where everybody's just murdering each other because of God.
Right? And
white dudes.
Funny, yeah. It's so funny when people are like, oh, can't we just go back to the past? I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
No.
Do you know what these psychopaths would do? Like,
yeah. Well, pretty much anything past, like, 20 years from now or ago and past there into the past.
Yeah, okay.
Like, how can I say this without being so redundant?
1999.
Yeah.
And South.
And
That's
South.
what I'm going with.
Yes. Everything, like, there were great moments and there were great things happening at times, but generally it was pretty bad.
Pretty shit, yeah. People don't realize, like, the world's still pretty shit.
It's terrible.
There's lots of countries where women have no rights. Donald fucking Trump is the president of the United States. The United States government has been closed for, what, 25 fucking days now? Like, people have had to go a month without a paycheck. It's so crazy that people are like, yeah, the government shut down. I feel bad for anybody that works in a government building that was a contractor. The janitor hasn't been paid in a month. Like, people are getting 0.00 paychecks. I can't believe people are even going into work. And this guy's the president.
I don't know. I mean,
no guarantee of being back paid either.
It's crazy.
And that's the president, to build a fucking wall to keep Mexicans out, which in my opinion, Mexicans are the most important people in America right now.
Definitely.
More Mexicans start businesses than any other race in America. They are the most entrepreneurial people.
Yeah.
They're amazing. The culture, the food.
Yeah. Fuck, no doubt.
So yeah, I hate Donald Trump.
Me too.
When I was going to the airport, this is just so we can get totally off topic here.
Yeah, why not?
But it's Beers with Buds. That's what we do. We just go.
Yeah.
I got in my cab, and this guy's like so Nigerian.
Yeah.
Hello, Mr. Friedman.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. And I don't even know how I brought it up. Or he brought it up. He's like, I love Donald Trump. Oh. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, you're like, that's an odd way to start a conversation.
You want to have this conversation with me at 6:30 in the morning? I was like, yeah, I actually donated to the Bernie Sanders campaign.
Yeah.
And he's like, Donald Trump is the man. He needs to be the president of Nigeria. And I'm like,
what?
I'm like, what? So he continues to tell me how he's such a rich man and how he's the best president the United States has ever had, and everything he says makes so much sense. And and so he tells me, he's like, yeah, I think Donald Trump should be the president of Nigeria. And I was like, if Donald Trump was the president of Nigeria, he would kick all of the black people out. And he started laughing so hard, and then his tone really kind of changed about Donald Trump.
Really?
And I loved it. But that guy he blows my mind. So yeah, he would, yeah. Anyways.
It's unfortunate. I mean,
imagine if the Irish people or English people or anybody had never shown up in America. Like, what a dump that place would be. Have you ever been to Detroit? Like, Flint still doesn't have clean drinking water.
That's insane.
And this fucking guy's worried about keeping out Mexicans. But I also read that, I was saying it since 2016, that he's totally working for the Russians. Since day one, I said he's working for the Russians. And now they're saying, like, yes, Donald Trump has probably been working for the Russians. He might be the first president to ever go to jail for treason.
Isn't that crazy? I can't wait. I mean, Why
has nobody assassinated him? There's more guns than ever.
I don't think that they should. Like, I think that if someone assassinated him, it wouldn't be good for anyone.
Why?
There would be probably a civil war.
Good. I think it's time.
Do you think so?
Hell yeah. I've been saying this. Like, you know what?
I don't
know. If liberals, Democrats, whatever you want to call them, people that are educated, informed, and want real change in the world are just as...
But the problem with the Civil War would be that all of the people on the other side would be the ones with guns.
No, that's where you're wrong.
Really?
Yeah, Americans all have guns.
All of them?
Because the reality is the other guy has a gun, so I need a gun.
That's fair.
And yes.
That's terrifying reality.
I got to Chicago, and it's like, here's my gun. And I'm like, oh, wow. Right on. And it's like, why do you carry this? Because everybody else has one. And you'll hear so many Americans say that. Like, there was a moment. I literally remember we were walking down the street in the morning, and the car starts slowing down, and they're like, just keep walking. And I was like, what? And the car kept going. And I looked at them and I was like, did you think we were going to be shot there? And they're like,
maybe.
And it's like, who lives in a civilization like this? Like,
That's
this is
insane.
This is mental. You're just as likely to die from a gunshot in America as you are in a car crash.
That's fucked.
Right?
I'm also very scared of cars, though, so I don't doubt it for a second.
You know, cars are scary, but I just I don't trust the people in the cars.
Yeah.
I trust the cars.
Yeah, and then you add guns to the equation, and
And then
there
you're
you
just
are.
shooting
You're
guns
in
out of car
Chicago.
window. And then you're in Chicago, exactly. I also learned about, it was crazy. I learned about these things called rammers and how these guys are just buying old cars with like big iron bodies
Yeah.
to use them as weapons.
What?
So that basically if you see somebody in the streets, you can just run them over.
Ram them.
Yeah, smash them with your car
Oh my
or
God.
whatever you need to do. And I was like, oh my God, this is a reality? The guy called it because he was looking at a bush guard or
Yeah.
something on a truck. He's like, oh, that's a real nice ram bumper. And I was like, why would you call it a ram bumper? Like, it's a bush guard.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, it's for ramming people. And starts telling me about this story where he sees a guy smash a car in the middle of an intersection and just start driving around it. And then the guy got out and started taunting the guy as he's like in his seat, messed up, and he's on Snapchat. And I'm like, oh my God,
What?
this is a real place. But you know, how many movies do we watch about Los Angeles? And you know, I see this nice part of Los Angeles. I go to Bel Air or whatever, but then I end up staying in these, like, last time I stayed in South Central, and literally the entire time it was like Mexican party music and helicopters flying around above me and car alarms and dogs.
Sounds scary.
It's interesting because it's not that scary because everywhere is being gentrified now.
Yeah.
But the problem is with gentrification is that you put people kind of in the wrong scenarios, I think.
Yeah.
Like me, worrying about being shot. Honestly, though, I can't wait to go back to Chicago.
Yeah? Did you like it?
What a cool city.
Yeah?
It's one of the oldest cities
I heard
in America.
that, actually, yeah.
It's a big port, right? Because it's right on the lake.
And their hot dogs are good.
I didn't have a hot dog.
Oh.
The snap dog is what I think what they're famous for, right?
Yeah, I think so. Why didn't you have one?
I also didn't have pizza.
What?
Yeah.
What did you even do there?
I worked hard. I was in
fair.
the kitchen washing dishes and washing the
Nice.
floor and yeah, I'm here to help, chef.
Thank you.
Honestly, like, yeah, that's what I hate. I'm not a pretentious sommelier.
Ooh.
You want me to chop onions? I'll take the hit for you.
Perfect.
Because I just want to. I'm just lucky to learn. I got to learn to make grits, and I got to
Nice.
make horchata. My buddy Javi,
Amazing.
Big Meech, he's a G. I got to spend like most of the day with him one day in a prep kitchen while he's prepping his cocktails because he's just an incredible cocktail artist. He does the only prepackaged michelada in the United States. Big
Wow.
Meech, incredible. I'm still tasting that grapefruit one you did for Lagunitas. Javi. God damn, bro.
That good?
Honestly, it sits on my palate beside 1978 Chateau Palmer. Like, that and this fucking michelada mix. It was so good. I don't even know.
Hey, if it's good, it's good.
And the cocktails he made was incredible. His thought and his passion was so awesome. So
That's awesome.
yeah, smart dude.
Hey.
Who would
Yeah.
who would have thought you could just fall in love with cocktails and make micheladas? I want a michelada after this conversation. To be super honest
Deal.
with you, yeah, you're gonna have a meech with me.
Yeah, let's do it. Why not?
Okay, I'm gonna try. There's no way I can I'm gonna try and do Javi justice, obviously.
Yeah. It's all right. I won't put the bar too high for you. And also, I haven't had his, so I don't really have anything to compare it to.
The big difference is like I can't find like the right tamarind stuff in Canada. I'm also just not Mexican, so
What kind of tamarind?
I don't
Like
know.
a paste?
I kind of really need like just a soup, like a cheap Mexican chamoy that already has tamarind in it. I've just been looking at all these specialty stores, and it seems like all the Mexican specialty stores don't actually have like the right Mexican specialty stuff. When I really as I get to learn a little bit, the little bits that I kind of get here and there, and I try and get it back in Canada, I really realize that we have a very small actual Mexican culture here.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I'd love to bring all of these great Mexican guys I met up here and do like a takeover.
That'd be sweet. I actually know one of our really good friends, Rafa, he is a chef from Oaxaca, and he's actually in Copenhagen right now. They got voted like best restaurant in Copenhagen or something crazy. And he makes the best food. Like, it's one of those things where I just, like, watching him cook, I don't even know. I'm like, what are you even, how?
Because there's so much technique, especially in Oaxacan
and
cooking.
Time.
And the layer of flavors.
Yeah.
The complexity of flavor.
It's incredible.
Oh, I would love to bring, I want to do, like, a real authentic Mexican in Calgary, because I don't think, like, Native Tongues always wins as best Mexican.
Yeah.
But that's not Mexican. Like, it's not. Like, there's not even a Mexican guy in the kitchen.
Yeah. That's always the saddest, when you're like, what is this?
No. Well, it does a pretty good job, but it still just doesn't have those correct flavors, because it's made for a demographic.
Right. And that's the thing. I mean, I guess that's the thing with Calgary.
Yeah.
At times. But, I mean, I don't know. I feel like the culinary scene and the people that
it's getting way better.
Participate in it are totally, like, way more educated, and
in the last 5 years.
Yeah, definitely. It's been a huge growth, and I think that's super positive and cool. Definitely.
Well, yeah, there's so many great restaurants, so many cool fusion concepts, but I think the problem is like there's only so much room for success. Mm-hmm. And there's only so many. Well, I shouldn't say that. I know that a great concept will work, but a great concept doesn't seem to work everywhere in Calgary. Yeah.
The location, I think, is the most scary part of it. Is, like, you can see there's these certain, like, haunted locations in the city where even a really great concept will go into it, and then it'll die. And it's like, what the... Like,
no, totally. One that I never thought would work was Bar Vonderfels on First Street, beside the tattoo shop and the pawn shop. Yeah, and they crushed it.
They have. I mean, I think again though, if your product is good enough,
it'll work anywhere.
You'll be fine anywhere.
I think the timing was also very fortunate with the First Street boom, and just how everything happened there.
Yeah,
but there's still no parking for their restaurant.
Like, it's a tough location for that. I mean, for anyone in that area, like, there's no parking.
Totally. I had Thomas on the podcast, the owner of Bar Vonderfels. He'll be probably the episode after you.
Awesome.
So, which is a great conversation, because hearing about how they started that place is great. And
yeah.
He's the same age as us in the same few years.
Really?
So.
I didn't know that. That's awesome. I'd like to listen to that, because their success has been really great.
Yeah, and just quick and organic as well, which is really cool.
Yeah, they were never, like, in your face ever. It was just, like you said, an organic growth of people just, like, genuinely really appreciating what they're putting out there.
They didn't even want to put up the sign.
Yeah?
Yeah. Like, I remember meeting them before they opened the restaurant, and they're like, yeah, we don't really want to put out a sign, but we're going to put out one small sign, like just one iron sign, small, and that's it.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's bold, but it worked.
Capacity's 28.
Yeah. Great. Honestly, like, that's the kind of thing I love to see, when someone's just, like, genuine and wants to just put out a good product and be...
Authenticity.
Yeah.
And actually, in every conversation I've had so far on the podcast, we talk about authenticity.
That's great. It's a good theme.
It always comes back to it, because I think all the people I'm talking to are very authentic people with, like, a message that they want to share.
Yeah, I like it. I don't know. I think that's...
If you're going to share one message, what would it be?
One message would be...
You can talk for as long as you want.
Oh, man.
And you can contradict yourself a whole bunch, too.
Oh, man. Good. That's perfect. Contradicting myself is my favorite.
Yeah, it's what you're best at, one of your superpowers. Yeah. Me too.
I'd say the message would be... like, perseverance and believing in what you believe in is really, like, at least the key to my success. Like, I've definitely had some roadblocks and speed bumps and a few derailments in my fairly short career, but I think that just, like, learning your worth, because you definitely won't know it in the beginning, but learning it and sticking with it and just saying, like, I think the biggest thing that I struggled with was I let people push me until the point of, like, losing it.
Okay.
And I pretty much did that in all places, like, whether I was in school, working at McDonald's, like some of my longer jobs here in Calgary, like I really respected the people I was working for, and I think that that's something that is just ingrained in me, just to respect your employer and to respect the people above you. And in culinary school, they like drill that too. Like I've always believed that, but
Yes,
then
chef.
in culinary school, they're like bow to me. Like they're great for a lot of reasons, but they don't exactly like lift you up.
Yeah. The kitchen's a...
Yeah, it's a place of ruthlessness, and I think that a side note, I used to be kind of a dick in the kitchen. Like I definitely had low patience, and
Everybody has to be. You have to be if you want to be a chef, if you want to be head chef.
I mean, yes and no. What I was about to say actually is that like I've definitely chilled out. Like
Yeah.
I've definitely become more like understanding of why
Because you're
people.
your boss.
Yeah, it's because I'm my boss, which is great, and also like the people I'm working with, I know are genuine and want to learn, and it's my friends, which is obviously a blessing and like a rare situation, but they just really want to learn, and they just also have a lot to add, which is something I really respect, and it's made it a little easier to be nice.
Well, I've worked in kitchens. I've worked in restaurants. Like, people that work in kitchens, it's either... There's kind of two types of people.
Mm-hmm.
Very passionate people that want to be chefs and want to have a restaurant career.
Yeah.
And then, like Anthony Bourdain wrote in Kitchen Confidential, ex-cons and meth heads doing a ballet
Totally.
with these super passionate people. And at any moment any of those people could snap and stab you. And they are all carrying a knife, but you have to work side by side with them in a sweaty, hot, stressful environment. And so
Very true. Yeah.
being a chef is it's hard.
It's hard, and it can be like it's one of those weird like situations where you're getting a lot of praise often because people, if they like your food, they're telling you, but at the same time you're also getting a lot of like extreme criticism all of the time.
Oh yeah.
So you're like in this weird like, yay, I got this, like someone told me it was the best thing they've ever had, and then the next day you're like, oh, someone had a review that was like less than great.
They hated it.
Yeah, like we got a review one time, and it was not anything about the food. It was just like they didn't like our prices because they were comparing us to other food trucks, and they said like your poutine is at least $2 more than everyone else's. And I was like, yeah, but like,
well, what's a poutine worth? $15? $13?
Yeah, about there. And
well, then they should. It's a food truck. What do you
know.
expect?
Well, and the thing is too is like we have like there's a lot of short rib in it. There's like local Cafe Rosso coffee in the gravy, like duck fat fried fries. I was like, what do you want from me?
No, it's just a hater. You know what? That's kind of the interesting thing about Yelp and online reviews is everybody got this power to like complain.
Totally.
And the people that have great experiences never take the time to tell people.
Yeah.
And it sucks.
Yeah, that's so true. Luckily, like our Facebook page is pretty full of like really appreciative guests, which has been, it's like so heartwarming.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Sorry, getting a call.
Worries.
I should have turned off my phone.
Don't worry, I should have too. I know, I was looking, I was like, what are all these?
What are all these bling blings?
I'm so important. My boyfriend texted me 3 times.
Yes, my phone
and my mom. No.
My phone addiction's real. With my new iPhone, it tells me how much screen time I spend per day.
I don't want to know that.
It's helpful because I do a lot of business on my phone as well, right? It's kind of the reality of social media and being
it's so big for business.
Every single person that I do business with now, I've met over Instagram.
Yeah.
Like, flat out, it's given me more opportunity than I could have ever imagined in any facet, because you're able to connect with anybody and send anybody a message.
Yeah.
Like we were talking earlier, but like, how do you make that connection? How do you find that person? That person is on Instagram.
Yeah,
and
it's true.
It just takes sending them a DM.
Yeah.
And it's incredible to me. Like, even Chef Pierre, who introduced us.
Yeah.
I found him on Instagram.
Totally.
I thought it was so cool that he was like a chef and an author, and he had been on Chopped and Top Chef, and he was in Calgary, and I was like, oh, well, hopefully I can con this guy into doing a cannabis dinner with me. And then luckily I followed him and I made that connection. And then he did a cannabis dinner for his friends. And I was like, oh, bingo, fantastic.
Totally, yeah.
And then it took like me following up a few times. And
there you
I'm
go.
stoked. Now we're doing dinner together February 22nd. That'll be next month. So I haven't launched that yet, but this is coming out a week before our dinner.
Awesome.
So this is the early warning.
Man.
And if you're listening to this and the dinner isn't already sold out because it's pretty close right now.
Yeah.
Go and buy some tickets because I'll put the Eventbrite link in the description of the show.
It's gonna be so good. I'm like, honestly, those donuts, like, I've been thinking about that recipe for, I don't know, at least 3 years, and I haven't been able to do it yet. So
wow.
I'm super fucking excited.
I was putting together some wine sponsors today.
Nice.
With some of my favorite wines, because luckily I'm fortunate to have worked with some great people. So we'll have some awesome juice, and it's going to be sick. Like, I'm so excited. I can't wait to see where the future of it goes. I honestly think that it's in the entirety of the future of dining. It's literally the only new thing.
Yeah,
in dining.
We've pretty much like reached our. I don't know. I mean, there's
well,
always
molecular
gonna be something
gastronomy
new.
came out a few years ago, and
all those goddamn foams.
Y'all, those foams, your twills and your foams.
Seriously, oh my god, I'll have to just do some sort of foam dish that's like.
We're doing a creme fraiche foam now.
Yeah,
we have
do
to.
it. We have to. There we go.
I had that creme fraiche finally.
Yeah.
The S&E one.
Yeah, what'd you have it with?
Just pierogies.
Nice. Yeah. Solid.
Pierre told me that I should just have it with something simple.
Yeah.
He was like, honestly, it's so bomb. Like, just let it shine as an ingredient.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'm gonna have cheap frozen pierogies,
Do
and I'm gonna
it.
put expensive ass creme fraiche on it.
Yeah.
Holy fuck, is the best thing I've ever made in my entire life.
That's awesome.
It was like that. I didn't realize I've never been able to have a spoonful of creme fraiche and just straight up have that. And it is it's like eating butter popcorn and the most delicious sour cream at the same time in like a thick Greek yogurt.
Yeah, it's like the texture, that's what really does it for me. I'm like, what is this silkiness? Like, it's so good.
Yeah, we're going downstairs once we're finished with the michelada and a spoonful of creme fraiche.
Okay, deal.
I love it. I love being able to live that life. I had one chat with my buddy Clay for the podcast that'll come out later, and that night, you know, I had bought a fist-sized truffle.
Yeah.
And I just shaved so much truffle
man.
on the mandolin. And he was just stoked.
That's awesome.
Open a bottle of Veuve Clicquot and
I mean, what else do you need? Not much.
a little bit of great cannabis.
Yeah, well, I mean,
that was there,
naturally.
obviously. Would you like a dab?
Sure, why not?
Can I give you one of those?
I feel like we should before all this is over.
Yeah.
Otherwise, what are we even doing?
We can't even be on Beers with Buds if you don't have some buds.
Yeah, what the hell?
Yeah, we got to get you. So I want you to smell the Jaeger
Okay.
as well, because this one has some really interesting qualities, and I'm not going to tell you what I think it smells like until you smell it.
Oh God, put me.
No, it doesn't.
on the
It doesn't
spot?
matter because what I want, what I like, it's not pretentiousness. It's just all about whatever you think is you're right. That's what I said on the.
It's definitely spicier than the other ones.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a specific spice in there that I think is the main standout quality.
Ginger, perhaps, or
I didn't think it
I
was.
definitely feel gingery, but I don't know. Or clove.
Can I tell you what I think it is?
Yeah,
now?
please.
I think it's star anise.
Ah.
Yeah, and when you taste it, you'll be like, wow.
We should pair this with my Chinese 5-spice float.
Yes, as the digestif. Mm-hmm. Totally. And we'll do
Because that'll be, like, star anise is big in that, so that'll be great.
Awesome. That sounds fantastic.
I'm pumped. That's, also, we're bottling our sodas that we've been selling on the truck.
Oh.
And so the Chinese 5-spice cola is going to be in that ice cream float.
No way. This is going to be debuted for the dinner the first time bottled?
Yeah, I think so. If we can get it done in time, we're chatting tomorrow before we're going to the Best of Calgary mixer tomorrow evening.
Ooh la la.
I know. So
Need
fancy.
a media agent? I'll come take
maybe.
videos of you the whole time.
perhaps.
If
We'll chat about that.
Yeah, let me know. I can put a camera around my neck and put all that fancy stuff that you see up there and look real professional for you.
Oh my god. Okay, maybe. Yeah. So before that, we're gonna have a little meeting and talk about our labels. We already bought our bottles. We've got our caps coming in, and our lovely friends at T24 Brewery in Chestermere are helping us out with the carbonation.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're doing it in a commercial facility?
Yeah.
Wicked.
Like bunch of legit bosses.
Awesome. And well, I've never heard of that brewery.
They're awesome. We actually had our brew boards, which was like a little kind of like a charcuterie plate with beer cheese made with, so we had them in a few breweries, and we also did like a Big Rock collaboration where we had their own beer in the beer cheese, and we serve it with like spent grain crackers and all this stuff. So
because you cook with beer a lot.
Yeah. It's kind of funny because I don't really like drinking beer. My
That's
business
why I poured
partners,
you wine today.
Yeah, my business partners are super into it, and like Adam is super. Oh yeah, shit. Sorry.
Don't touch the banger.
Okay, how do I forget how to do this.
Just put that in and let it melt off.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna put, and you can puff on it while it melts.
Oh really?
Put it in the bottom, yeah. Yes. Yeah, perfect. Nailing it. She's hitting the fake mothership.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Some flour rosin. That was awesome. I wish I had that on video because that would have been like the goodness gracious.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. My goodness.
Yes, last time you were here, I got you incredibly stoned. That was so funny.
That was an experience. As like a regular pot smoker, I thought I could handle myself. Turns out the cannabis sommelier lives up to his name. I was like very feeling good. Very good.
That's my moment for phone calls, 5:30. Again, I'm like, oh, I should have turned off my phone. Didn't turn off my phone.
Don't worry.
Because I'm addicted to technology.
Yeah, can't get rid of it.
No, it's
Don't want to, though. I don't know. I have this weird, like...
What would you... If Instagram disappeared tomorrow, a lot of people would be...
screwed.
Really heartbroken, I think. I think a lot of people's businesses would be done because they don't know what to do past Instagram.
Yeah.
I'm truly trying to diversify my stuff into... written content and
like YouTube and stuff too.
Well, the YouTube is deep. I've been into YouTube for a year.
Yeah,
there's
you had
150
a lot of content,
videos.
yeah.
But I'm making sure that I re-aggregate that content. Like I've never put anything on Vimeo. I'm just thinking about this now. I do all these YouTube videos, but I don't have a Vimeo channel.
Oh, okay. There's so many different options. It's just a little overwhelming.
Yeah, you kind of just got to put them on all of them.
Yeah.
I think there's probably a robot on the internet that I could pay.
Probably. You can actually. And even like with Instagram, you can get like pre-done posts. So you like put all these posts together and then
just post it.
Yeah, just post it. Like you tell it when to.
Ooh, I should probably spend a day doing that and let it go for a month so that I don't have to worry about it.
A really good idea, but I haven't done it yet. Because
it seems kind of inauthentic though, right?
That's the thing. Is like I never know what I'm going to be feeling. So like, I mean, yeah, it just, you don't know, like, do I want to post about this or whatever. It's kind of nice to do it at your own speed. So.
That's why I never want to batch my cannabis pairings. Mm-hmm. I always did them a day or two before their release because I wanted it to be authentic. It's funny, you can watch my hair grow the whole way through. And then you see when I get a haircut and then it grows. It's funny, when I scroll through the iMovie library, it's like, okay, it's like 4 weeks after the haircut, I look the best. Yeah. Okay, I get it now.
Anyone, obviously, that hasn't seen him before, great hair. Yeah. Really good hair.
Go follow me on Instagram at the Cannabis Somm.
Just for his hair.
I don't know if anybody's actually going to listen to the podcast. Well, that's an interesting thing about podcasts. I don't understand this medium as well as I do others, and so it's like you can find the podcast wherever you're listening right now, but you can find it on. It's hosted by Podbean, and then it's on Google Play, Spotify, iTunes. Yeah, I think that's everything.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know either.
So anywhere you listen to music, you can find my podcast. That's
good. I'm glad. I think, like, I don't know, maybe the thing I like about your podcast is, like, it's a little bit self-indulgent for us. We can, like, talk about whatever we want to talk about, and it's super fun. And who knows who will actually listen to the whole thing. But I like that it's, like, super... It is, to go back to it, like, really authentic. And, like, this is genuinely, like, the things we care about and want to talk about. And
it's you and me.
Yeah.
And that's what I thought was the coolest part about having a long format conversation was... Yeah. Well, and it's interesting. I get to ask questions, like, really directly that I probably wouldn't ask in normal situations.
Which is great. It's fun. It's really cool, too, to do with people that you know a little bit, but you don't know great.
Totally. Totally.
After my dab, I'm like, sentences are hard. You don't know great yet, but it's fine.
Sorry, the Jaeger was a hard one. I should have given you the Darm Solid Diesel.
No, it's nice. Honestly, I feel a lot more coherent than last time.
Wonderful. Yeah, that one was... last time was a lot. Yeah. And we smoked some great cannabis before, too.
Yeah, we
from
did.
Gastown. That was some organic wedding cake.
Yeah. I liked it a lot.
It was top, absolutely as close to top shelf cannabis as you can get. Luckily, I have been given some 100-point examples from great guys like that. So what Gastown did... do you know what a negociant is in wine?
Sure don't.
So it started in Bordeaux, and basically these guys would buy wine from all the best growers, and then they would sell it under a collective label.
Yeah.
But put together, like, different vineyard sites, but sell it under one house so that they could have more power in the community buying and selling. Mm-hmm. So basically Gastown was a negociant. In the gray areas, he's stopped now and is just doing an apparel company. But he brought together this amazing collective of growers that may not be the best salespeople or may not be demanding the highest prices for their amazing product. And he cultivated them all, brought them in all under one brand.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it was super inspiring because I love just that straight up parallel between what guys did in wine 500 years ago, and what he did for cannabis. So but it's interesting because even for people that built an amazing brand like that, there's still this barrier of entry for the legal market.
Yeah, no doubt. It's crazy. Like I don't know. I think the legal market right now, I'm sure you feel the same way. Like, it's definitely not. I don't know, like, I'm not interested in it right now. Like, do you feel like well,
there's those big bags of weed sitting right there that are all, like, pretty subpar samples, and I definitely didn't roll any of that for you when you got here, so.
It's tough. It's, I have only bought legal weed a couple times now, and, like, I probably, like, will, out of convenience, continue to, like, but... Yeah. It's, I don't know. I've just been like, eh.
There's $1,000 of weed sitting there, and I don't plan on smoking any of it.
Okay, well, also, I'll take some if you want to.
Well, I will. I'll send you home with some.
My standards definitely aren't as high as yours, but they're definitely high enough to know that, like.
Okay, well, I'll give you the best of the worst legal weed.
I'll take it. I
was thinking I should just stash it all over Calgary and just, like, do an Easter egg hunt one day.
Cannabis Santa? You should.
I do stash and dashes are a thing. Last year I organized one with Gastown all over Canada on 420.
Oh my God, what?
So we did one simultaneously in 12 cities across Canada at 420. And I pulled into this parking lot. I had hyped it and I had given hints. And I'm like pulling into
Let's do it. I want to do that.
I had done it, and this guy pointing me. He's like, "That's him." And I come around the corner. And I see like 35 people in this parking lot. I'm like, "Oh my God." And I started running into the woods, and people just started chasing me for the stash and dash. But when we were just in Vancouver, we did one, and we put it in the Canada Place fountain. And this dude, like, took his shoes off. There was, like, we put, like, $300
I was going shoes on.
I was thinking, I had to, like, yell at a guy to get him to come over, because usually they're found so quick. With Gastown, they're done really quick. People are usually really watching his story. Yeah. But we'd sat there for, like, half an hour, and then right after we convinced this guy to walk in and took his shoes off, this dude comes running up in his gum boots.
Oh my God.
And I was like, I kind of wish the guy running up his gum boots. But then we did one later that night, and they were like, we were looking down, and I was like, we should do a stash and dash on that cop car, and right on Granville. And they're like, no way. And I'm like, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, let's send it. And so we went down there because I was like, who's gonna arrest the guy in a suit? And I put a gram of oil on the cop car tire,
Oh my God.
and we put it on Instagram. And I was like, okay, we gotta wait. Like,
yeah, you gotta see. Who
and they're
does
like,
it.
no, man, like, and I'm like, no, like, we gotta wait. And so we stood there and we smoked a joint across the street, and like, it's Granville Saturday night. Like, thousands of people are walking
my
by,
God.
and we're looking at it. Like, you can clearly see it, and just out of nowhere, this one guy, like, you see him look around, and he does like a little spin move and sticks his hand onto the tire.
Oh my God.
And then you see his hand just fly up.
That's okay. That reminds me. Okay, another confession I didn't think I'd be making on this podcast. I'm a huge Survivor fan.
Okay, a show I've never watched.
What? Okay, I get like. For people that don't watch it, probably uncomfortably into it. Like, I'll, like, have to leave the room. I'm like, no way Malcolm's getting voted out. He just played 3 hidden immunity idols. This is some bullshit. Like, I just get super... Also, Malcolm, if you ever listen to this one day, I love you.
It's a deep game, holy.
But, okay, so they have this thing where...
Malcolm's your gimme.
Oh, man.
Okay, yeah. Anyways, we'll keep going.
So anyways, they have this thing where, like, you'll find a clue to a hidden immunity idol, and they'll say, at a challenge, if you're bold enough, we'll hide one under the table, and in front of your whole team, you have to try and, like, untie it and take it and, like, put it in your shorts or whatever, because they're always all in bathing suits when they're competing.
Okay.
And it's so that, anyways, sorry. So your story, I was, like, totally picturing, like, this guy in, like, a buff, like, super tan with a big beard being, like, just this little spin move and grabbing it under the cop
Oh, I
car.
wish he was
Anyways.
buff and tan. It was definitely not a buff tan, dude.
No.
No.
I mean, I guess I wouldn't expect it to be.
Cannabis guys aren't generally buff and tan. But he was excited, and he didn't get voted off.
That's good. I'm happy for him. Jeff Probst didn't snuff out his torch. That's nice.
Man, that's whack that Malcolm got voted off, even though he had 3 hidden immunity idols.
I know. Okay, honestly, it's devastating. But I got my boyfriend into it this year, and so we made this bet, and... Sorry for telling this story, Naz. So we made a bet where if he cried during the Survivor season, he had to buy me something, and vice versa. If he didn't cry, I'd buy him whatever.
Okay.
And he cried, and it was awesome.
Shout out! I cry all the time in movies and TV.
It was so good. They got their letters from home.
Okay, and that was the moment.
Yeah, and I just looked over at him, and he was like, "Oh God," and I was like, "Fuck yeah!"
Gotcha, softy.
Yeah, I lose there.
You knew the bet you were setting up. You've seen him cry so many times watching movies. It's like me. I can't watch a Julia Roberts movie without bawling at least 3 times.
I'm pretty sure he avoids them just so he doesn't cry.
It's okay. When I hear women sing, tears. I can't handle it.
Yeah, that's like, I mean, I get it, kind of.
It's hard. No, Is
that like you? Can you not watch Sister Act?
You would say one of my favorite movies.
I was just trying to think
I
of
will follow him.
Oh my God! Yes.
I will follow him wherever he goes.
They didn't know they were getting a musical and a podcast.
Never an ocean too deep.
Is that really one of your favorite movies?
Oh, Whoopi kills it in that.
Yeah.
That final, like the whole. I love everything about it. You know what's funny is
Are you crying right now?
Almost. I'm like, oh, that's a great scene. I love that end scene. I love him. Yeah, awesome.
Just so everyone knows, he's totally crying.
Great movie.
That's the best. That's the best thing that's ever happened.
Yeah, don't bet me about crying in Survivor, because I'm not taking that bet. Okay. No chance.
Yeah, you'd cry for sure.
Yeah, 100%. Like every rom-com, I don't go to the movies anymore because I know I'm going to end up crying.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, you would get along great with my boyfriend. He cried in Lady Bird. It was one of our first dates. And also, sorry for telling this story. And I'm kind of soulless, so it takes a lot for me to cry unless I'm having like a meltdown. And so we're watching it, and I look over, and there's like these tears just like silently streaming down his face, and he's very handsome, so I'm like, wow, this is equally beautiful and concerning.
This is sexy.
Yeah, but also
are you crying?
Why are you crying? And then when we're like driving home, he's dropping me off at my place because it's only our like third date. And he's like, if anyone wasn't crying in that movie, I don't know if we're watching the same one.
Oh, he's
He's like so upset, and I was like, do I tell him I didn't cry? Like, is he gonna think I don't have a heart?
That's why he said it.
He probably did. He was like, this girl is soulless.
She's hard. Why did I take the tattooed chick to the sad movie?
Right? What's the thing? I don't know.
She wanted to see a scary movie. Should have taken her to Halloween.
I'm not that predictable. I'm more in psychological thrillers are my jam.
Shutter Island.
Yeah, that was a good one.
It's literally
Have you seen A Cure for Wellness?
No. It's a good movie.
It's really good, but there's the end scene.
Rough twist.
It just gives me the fucking creeps. I can't.
Okay, well.
But watch it. It's great, but also. Ugh.
Hey, yeah. You watch anything good on Netflix lately? I liked Sex Education. That was funny. I came home and there's a whole bunch of new stuff.
I watched that. It was good.
The whole way through?
No.
Oh, I did it one day.
Yeah, you're just like, I'm doing it right now.
I'm a binger.
I'm getting my education.
I'm such a binger. I'm the worst.
I do at times, but I also get really bored easily, and I always just go back to like Forensic Files because that's my jam.
Yeah, you love true crime.
Yeah, and I also like record every episode of like Ancient Aliens, so I can always fall back on that if I need to.
Do you ever watch Action Bronson watch Ancient Aliens?
No, but that sounds like something I should watch.
It's pretty funny. They just sit there in front of a green screen and they project the Ancient Aliens on the green screen as they're watching it, and then they sit there and smoke weed and comment on Ancient Aliens.
That's incredible. That sounds like an elaborate version of what I do by myself.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
It's totally what you would do by yourself. And
that's awesome, and that's why everyone fucking loves it.
Yeah,
that's why it's authentic, right? And they're just like, this is true. I do this often.
Yeah, I like to smoke fat joints and wonder why this crazy-haired guy.
Yeah, but that's the thing that drives me nuts. Is like, why has it got to be so cheesy? Like, why can't you guys make this a show that's like gets
nobody would watch it.
People on board.
Nobody would watch it.
I'd watch it, but I also really like.
That's why you have the Space Channel
in grade 12.
Yeah, yes.
I was like, ooh, book reports.
Yes, yay.
I like learning. Yeah.
I didn't like learning in traditional education because I thought it was worthless.
Yeah, it's true. It is true, but it also, like, I don't know.
There's so much free education online. So last week, because I know how these are coming out in succession now, I talked with Mario Fabry of Trying Vegan with Mario, who has a TV show where he just takes vegan chefs, and his dad owns a sausage factory. Nice. Damn it, I'm telling his whole story and I completely forget what I was going to tell you.
That's okay. Moving along.
Anyways, Mario's great. Oh, no, it's totally something to do with... What were we just talking about? Do you remember? It's gone. Must have been a lie.
The problem with this show is also the magic of it is that we're smoking weed. So if we start something and get a little too off topic... Yeah, Beers with Butts is great. All goes in the...
It's like real life.
It is. It is real life.
The amount of times that I forget what I'm talking about mid-sentence, I have this moment I'm gonna talk about it, and then I just want to talk about something else so bad, and then it's all gone. Sarah's mom says it's a lie. If you can't remember what you're gonna say, must have been a lie.
Whoa.
So I always say that. I'm just like, yeah, must have been a lie.
That's the best. I'm using that too.
Yeah. Just don't worry about it. They're so great. They are so English, but they've been in Canada for long. Double the amount of time they ever lived in England.
Nice.
But they're so great and English and sweet and nice and like genuinely really English. I love that Sarah's dad says right then. And nice. So it's kind of like an inside joke with me and all of my friends. Like, yeah. Right then.
That's the best.
Yeah, we thought that me and Sarah get married in Jamaica this year in November, and
That's so exciting. That's awesome.
I think Sarah made the joke that her dad is going to give a speech and then just start chanting, right then, right then, right then.
Perfect. Oh, that sounds like it's going to be a great time.
It's going to be crazy. Great wines and great friends and
fun.
Crazy family.
Yeah, that's what it should be about. honestly.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's what weddings are about.
Yeah, definitely. If you ever go to a wedding that's not like that, you're like, this is terrible.
I haven't been to many weddings. I went to my mom's wedding, and I went to a dude that I didn't know's wedding because my buddy's date bailed on him and he'd already paid for her dinner.
Oh, classic.
You know what? It's really funny because it was weird being there, and I stood off to the side of the dance floor when she was when they were doing the garter belt thing.
Yeah.
When it's Ben and Megan, great wedding at Lake Louise. It was absolutely beautiful. Must have cost a fortune.
Yeah, I bet.
But he did the garter belt thing, and he flung it back like the bouquet.
Yeah.
And he had a lot of buddies there, and they were all on the dance floor, and they were like into it. And I stood way off to the side because I was like, "This isn't my moment. Like, I don't want to be here." And it literally was flying at my face, and I stuck out my hand, and it just landed there, and I was like, "Okay." And I'm the next. That was like 5 years ago, and now I'm the next one to get married.
Crazy. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Meant to be.
The magic actually happened, I guess.
It did. Wow.
So that was yes.
Incredible.
Yes, that garter belt was the skirt on my microphone for a long time.
Hey, why not?
It fit perfectly. I don't know. It was just hilarious.
I believe it.
I believe it. Okay, well we should go have a michelada, I think.
That sounds incredible, yeah. That
smoke a little bit more cannabis, and it sounds like Sarah's home, so
I heard that. The dog, Zeus, best dog, so cute.
At Zeus Friedman on Instagram.
Yeah, if you're looking to see cute dogs, look no further. Just a little commercial.
Right? No. Follow Zeus Friedman. Cannabis patient. Zeus uses cannabis for his Crohn's.
Yeah?
Which is incredible. Yeah, so really saved his life at one point.
You should interview him next.
It'll be a short interview, but it'll be very interesting and insightful.
And cute.
And cute, exactly.
Cute. Most importantly.
The picture will bring them all in. It'll be my most listened to podcast ever.
Probably.
Because people will be like, how do you... Yeah, a dog talks. Like, what, a talking dog on a podcast? He actually doesn't say anything. Okay, and on that
note... just so we all know, dog doesn't actually talk.
But when you see the episode, listen to it, please. Chef Elycia Ross, thank you so much for being here. Can you just tell everybody where they can find you on Instagram, just in case they listened all the way to the end?
Yeah. On the off chance you made it this far on our journey, Lil Chef YYC or Lil Truck on the Prairie on Instagram, and then from there you can see all my other info, because keep it simple.
And I'm going to try and make some awesome content with you, so make sure you follow me at the Cannabis Som, and we will... keep showing off your awesome culinary skills, and I really hope that you win Best Chef in Calgary.
Me too. Get your votes in.
Get your votes in. Do you know how we can vote? Is that a thing?
Yeah, it's best or fuck. Don't
Best of Calgary somewhere.
Yeah,
I'll put it in the description at the bottom.
Please do. It's like either Because Calgary or Best of Calgary. They have both of them.
Okay, I'll link it. It down in the description. So please, everybody listening, go vote for Chef. If you have the chance to get tickets for our dinner, I hope you grab them right away. I'd love to see you there. And again, Chef, thank you so much. Let's have one more cheers before we go.
Thank you. Oh, shit. Well, we'll pretend
no, hold on. No, we're not pretending cheers anything.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you. Cheers.
Okay.